It's Erik Nagel second anniversary show from the Demented Brewing Company in Middlesex, New Jersey. Erik, Matt, and Giddles are back.
Welcome back to It's Erik Nagel here on Sirius XM for our second anniversary, and we're doing it live at Demented Brewing Company in Middlesex, New Jersey. We can't thank these guys enough. In fact, I think I worked out a business deal for the new strawberry cream ale about turning this into a popsicle.
All right.
I'm
It's
claiming
really good.
I get 1% of all the sales. Is that good?
Is that the deal?
Thumbs up. No, I'm just saying it now.
Oh, all right.
Everyone's hammered. They'll agree to it, and then we have it on tape. So this way, it works that way.
I like how you think.
It's myself, it's Matt OG, and
Hello.
Giddles here.
Howdy.
Lewis is running around trying to get things done. And we're going to say hi to a gentleman named Drake. Hello, sir. How are you?
Good.
Wow. You've been indulging, I see.
Yeah.
What have you been drinking here?
I'm all about Astarte the party, my friend.
All right.
I'm drinking the Astarte as well. It's
A little bit of Randall.
Microphone right
Yes,
there.
sorry about
there
that.
There you go, sir. So you're an artist?
I am.
You did that lovely banner that's on the outside of the building here.
No.
No?
No, he did the mural.
I did
Oh, you did the
lovely-
mural.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the tasting room.
With all the demons.
Yes. Where everybody's crowding to the one side of the room because that's where the air conditioning
All
is.
that is demented.
Yes. How long have you been doing the art stuff? Is that like professional or is that just a freelance kind of thing?
No, it's professional.
Do you do a lot of murals, or
I do a lot of murals.
is that your primary?
Source of
canvas,
income?
or is it? Or do you do? What other kind of art do you do other than murals?
I paint on canvas, but I do a lot of murals.
Okay.
Is this an original idea? Did you
It is an original idea.
Did you have like Dante's 7 layers of hell in your head when you were envisioning it?
I did research.
Nice.
I did utilize Dante's 7 layers, yes. It was really the logo. The logo was the New Jersey Devil,
Right.
and then I imagined what would be going on in the pine barrens if they were brewing, and then it all,
So is the style of that mural different than what you would traditionally do, or what is your style usually?
I could be a mimic, but I prefer not to.
Okay, so
You do voices?
I could do a really bad Christopher Walken if I get another.
please don't.
No, please
if I
do.
get another
Please do. Hang on a
Astarte-
second. Please do.
If I get another Astarte.
We will get you another one.
Whoa, this Astarte is so good.
I'm going back to please don't.
Yeah, probably better.
But no. I'm curious. Like
I didn't know Paul Lynde did Christopher Walken.
So clearly, this mural you did some research for based
Yeah.
on the logo and the name.
I did a little research.
But if you were doing
We're going to tweet this out, by the way.
Some
so
of it
everyone's
came from my
listening.
night terrors.
Or not. It's going to be tweeted out on It's Erik Nagel, so you can see the actual mural over by the tasting area for everything that we're describing here. Please
But do you have a style, or how would you describe your style if you were just creating on your own? Do you have like a topic that you focus on?
Like
or
a mildly trained vocal artist.
Okay.
Okay.
I went to art school,
Do you like lots of
Get
loops?
out.
but I didn't really like pick up on a lot of stuff.
That's good. You don't want to be making everything everyone else is making.
After the second year, I was like, what happened to my style? And then I started being like all my professors, and then I was like, no.
Fair enough. Fair
How
enough.
sophisticated of you.
That well spoken for an artist who's had a couple of beers at a brewery in a hot room
Yes.
after a couple hours.
Yeah, no, I
You're
normally...
quite eloquent, actually, to be honest with you.
It's very rare that I'm allowed to be in front of this many people. I'm kind of a recluse.
Well, we asked them to install a cage, but apparently that was against some sort of code. So,
Well, my good friend Liz works here, and she's usually my chaperone.
so where could we see some of your other artwork if we wanted?
I actually-
if we cared enough to see some of your other artwork, where could we see
Wow,
it?
what, you don't like it?
I want to see
No,
more
actually,
of your other artwork.
I love your mural, but your description of your art style leaves me perplexed and confused,
What,
and I'm not sure
didn't
that I want to
describe it
see
enough?
more of it. But if I did, where would I go?
Well, I actually met Tom Zuber, the owner.
Okay.
And I'd like to express my gratitude.
Okay.
for hiring me and having the confidence in me because
Okay.
he met me at lunch.
You were
on one of
clearly
my
sober at that meeting.
Well, when we
I don't
first
think
met.
so. I don't think
Oh.
anything's sober about this.
But yeah, I did a restaurant down the road, which is like my little Sistine Chapel. It took me
Okay.
over 3,000 hours, and
Oh, wow.
It's like less than a quarter mile. When Tom was putting this place together, I ran into him. He was having lunch, and he liked my work, and
And there
thankfully I got hired. And
I mean, all kidding aside, the mural it's fantastic.
Thank you.
You did a great job with it.
Thank you
I mean,
very much.
There's a lot going on, and you really have
There
to
is.
take a look at all of the pieces to get a good feel for it. I just didn't know if that was like your
No, I
normal
mean-
style, if you normally did sort of like a fantasy
No.
dark element, or if that was really just because of the
no,
location.
in all honesty, I do a lot of kids' rooms, believe it or not.
Okay.
It's
That's
like,
all right.
It's like princesses and pirates.
I mean, I don't know if I'd let you do my kids' room, but it's great that some people let you do kids' rooms.
No, he just breaks in and does kids' rooms.
So I've heard you've had a little bit.
Only once, but they didn't press charges.
So I've heard you've had a little bit of fame with some Donald Trump art series
I
you've
did.
done.
I sold
Can you
the-
explain that?
I did a portrait of Donald Trump made out of shredded U.S. currency.
Nice.
This was 2 years ago before he was running.
How much did it cost you in currency?
The U.S. Treasury actually sells them in giant bags, like the size of a double pillow, for like $8.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, nice.
That sounds legal.
Yeah. And I did another one. Not that I'm going to vote for him, but I vote for me making money. So I'm trying to capitalize on his popularity.
Nothing wrong with that.
Trying to get it in an auction house in the city.
Well, your drink's looking a little low there, my
It
friend.
is.
You should go and get a nice refill over at the tasting room there. At
Is that my
Demented Brewery.
cue?
Yeah, we'll take it as that. Drake, thank you very much for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. You don't
Yes,
need
for
to
A
having
stick
me.
with a hook on it,
There
but
you
they
go.
couldn't provide
and,
one. So.
yeah, we will tweet out the mural and everything so everyone can see it out on It's Erik Nagel. Thank you so much, my friend.
Yeah.
When I was panning the crowd during the break here, I ran into somebody.
You were
that,
panhandling in the crowd?
I
during
was
the-
panhandling. I need gas money to get home. Actually, no. Easy Pass really fucked me for this
Again?
trip out again. Yeah, because I hit zero. I didn't go under. I hit zero.
Right.
And
That's a
you
$25
can't.
favor.
And you can't do your own one-time payment. You have to do what they deem as being acceptable.
Right.
So in order to get here, I had to pay $385 on Easy Pass just to get my thing working. And then it says, we'll be functional in 48 hours.
Ooh, nice.
And I said to Giddles, fuck it, we're just going to go and see how it goes.
There you go.
And I'm probably going to get fined for that, but whatever. So, no, I was going through the crowd here, and I see a gentleman who I've run into a few times, works for a show that I'm actually a fan of, and his boss has been, I guess I could say, a mentor, an idol of mine since I was a little kid, and one of the reasons I started to go into radio, which would be Mr. Scott Shannon, who
Right.
also was nice enough to do the intro for the show that we heard at the top there. Should I call you Kermit? Can I call you your real name, or are
I
we
mean,
breaking kayfabe by doing that?
I would like to be called my real name and be an actual person, not a Muppet.
Okay.
But whatever I guess the people would know me as.
You know him as Kermit on the Scott Shannon in the Morning Show, and his real name is Trevor.
Yes, hello.
Hi, Trevor.
Thank you for having me on.
No, thank you for coming down.
I'm a little nervous. I can't do any Christopher Walken impression at all, so I
No,
can't.
the world thanks
you're already a step ahead of everybody else.
Perfect.
I don't know about everybody else, but at least the artist.
At least me. You're working on one of the biggest morning shows in the country, right in New York City there, and you're a young dude. How'd you get your start in radio?
Luckily, what I like to thank everyone is everyone who ever had a kid. I'd like to thank you because I've been there to fill in your job while you're away.
So you're the fill-in for when everyone who has the job takes off. You're the guy that comes
I
in.
used to hand out stickers, and then one of the guys in production had a kid, so I was like, oh, I'll fill in for a month. And then I just wound up staying there, and then I was like, oh, would you like to fill in the morning show while the producer has a kid? I'm like, yeah. And then the next day, they hired Scott Shannon, so I helped produce his show for a month.
and they kept you.
Had absolutely no idea what I was doing, just tried my hardest, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to handing out stickers. He's like, no, you're just going to stay here now. And
That's great.
all of a sudden, I'm in radio.
Most people
Like
don't
what I
get that
wanted to do.
opportunity. I mean, look, I'm sure we have there's a couple of ex-interns over here who, well, that dude over there just finally got something. Not you.
There you go.
Him. No, I'm kidding.
Like,
That guy over there, he was busting his ass as an intern for a while, and then you get that lull where after your internship's done, doesn't always necessarily mean it's going to translate into a job.
when I walked out of school, they told me you could do one of two options. You can either, go be on the air right away in Tuscaloosa, wherever, and no one will know who the hell you are, or you can go hand out stickers in New York, and maybe you'll get eventually somewhere.
Right.
And I just got lucky.
Yes, you did luck your way in. I'm not
I
going to
can't
say
believe
there's
it.
talent there at
No.
all.
Are you kidding me?
But you're working for a guy who's very talented there. What's that like? What's that whole experience? You jumped from doing pretty much an intern / promotional gig. Now you're a producer on one of the biggest morning shows in the country.
Honestly, it's frightening. Because every day I have no idea what I'm going to walk into.
Does he yell at you a lot?
Oh, absolutely. Because I have a hard time remembering things.
And he
So-
demands perfection, as he should.
Well, yes, but sometimes he wants me to clear the commercials. I'm trying to get everything ready just so you lovely people can hear the radio. And he mentions, play Boston and Walking on Sunshine, and I didn't hear him say that. And I go, what's the second song? He goes, I freaking told you! And I'm like, I'm sorry. Can you say it again? So I just have to, sometimes just let him know that I'm an idiot. And I'm like, yeah, Walking on Sunshine, I'm sorry.
I'll give you some tips in radio. Just show up and you get a job. That's what I do.
Yeah, Gittles
That's
kinda-
actually how he lost one of his producers. He just didn't show up. He goes, well, he's never showing up again. So
See? That's what you do. Just show up.
Yeah, look, I've made a career out of being late to Opie's show for, 13 years now? And then he got to the point where he's like, I'm not even going to try anymore.
hey, as long as I can get his car ready for his golf game, he's happy with me.
Yes, he does. He is an avid golf lover. So you get this job. You're working on one of the biggest shows in the country there for CBS FM, for those who don't know, in New York City. This guy is not just one of the biggest shows. He's a institution to the radio industry, not just New York City radio, to the whole community in general there, and that's got to be very intimidating.
It is, but at the same time, he doesn't act like that at all. Like, he kind of like, if you ever say the term living legend, he just tells you to shut up and like, what are you talking about? He's actually very humble, which is surprising, because on the air when people, like, he actually like turns red when people call in.
Yeah.
And says like, oh my God, I've been listening to you for years, you're the greatest. Like, he loves the fans and everything, and it's great. And, he's been through so much in New York radio back and forth, and then with Todd for so long. So, we
don't talk about him here.
It's fine. I think but the term genuine happiness is like between everyone on the show now. Like, they've never seen this version of Scott before, and he just wants to put on the best show possible.
And you do. Now, while he's trying to put on the best show possible, why
I
is
do
it
everything I can to mess it up.
right? Why do you screw up the only bit he gives you on the air?
Well, there's the thing. I like to watch something called Current Movies. And I've heard of Will Ferrell and Jimmy Fallon and other funny things that happened past 92. And if he ever hears this, I'm not going to have a job anymore. But, like, I like to have,
Sending it to him tomorrow.
perfect. I loved it. Like, like Mike Myers and funny things. So, like, they call it fat, drunk, and stupid movies when I like to do, like, old school quotes and everything. But, like,
Is early '90s old school now? Is that considered?
Well, if early 90s music can be on the classic channel, music.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, well,
movies certainly
we play,
qualify.
we're the classic hits, and we play 190 song an hour.
Well, that's not entirely true, because I've heard Pink at 6 o'clock in the
Well,
morning.
there's some things that Scott
That's
likes
your
to do
fault.
on his own.
Yeah, I've heard Pink. I've heard Sugar Ray. I've heard.
We played Walk on the Moon the other day.
Yeah.
Shut Up and Dance with Me, because that's classic hit.
That's
it
a
is.
classic?
According to Scott.
Jesus Christmas.
Yeah, it's classic as it's 2
Dude, that's the
years
thing.
old.
That's
That's
the
my
thing.
5-year-old's favorite song ever.
But, like, that's the thing I love about this show. It's not another normal morning show. He created the morning zoo format. I know everyone seems to be sick of it, but, like...
No. See, that's the thing. People...
Well,
He created that zoo format, and then he was very successful with it. Then so many people copied it and did it poorly.
like, cheesy. Like, yeah.
Did it like half-assed. And that's when the whole thing's like, oh, this whole format sucks, and we got to get rid of it, and you got to do something else. But then it went away for the longest time. People haven't been doing it, and if they are doing it, they're in such a small market that nobody notices. But him bringing back what he did best on that station, they're using the old style imaging, like from the Z100 days on there and everything. It gives you a sense of it's almost like a comfort food kind of thing. And that's why it's doing so well.
I think people who listen to like regular radio, not satellite. Like they listen to their certain stations for certain reasons.
Oh, I'm not saying listen to regular radio. You should, of course, should be listening to satellite.
Yes, of course. And I love satellite and have applied many times. And but what I'm saying is they listen to certain stations for certain things. But when you listen to Scott's show, he's just so against the norm that he'll play, Pink, and then you have to hear Mungo Jerry Summertime because he just feels like it. Like he still does what he wants.
What's Mungo Jerry?
In the summertime, and no, I don't know. He's got sideburns. That's all I know.
Oh, okay. That's what Shaggy sampled. Gotcha. That's how I know it. So you got a great job there. And what are you looking to do once you move on from Scott's show?
Well, I plan on doing whatever Scott says until the unfortunate passing because he's a legend and I don't want to leave him ever. I'm sucking up to him. But no, eventually I want to do my own show. I have the model of what I want to be right here next to me in E-Rock, and I'm also sucking up to E-Rock.
I was going to say,
I have no hiring or financial power at this company.
I know, but I just want you to like me.
I love Erik, but I don't know if I would
I barely got
model
him paid.
myself.
Well, no, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have found these awesome shirts from Shirt Punch that I found. So,
yeah, Trevor does write me every now and then, and he'll notice something and goes, God, I wish I could do what you do. And you can one day. You just need to find a shift on one of their stations that isn't being used and say, I'm going to do a shift.
Well, like
on
your
that
flyer
station.
for the show is Super Mario Brothers 2. It's awesome.
Right.
And
it is pretty sweet.
When I want to talk about BattleBots is back, people, on ABC, and they look at me like I have 10 heads on the air because they're like, no one cares about BattleBots. That's a lie.
Yeah, that's true, because nobody cares about
Wait,
BattleBots
BattleBots is
whatsoever.
back?
Dude, BattleBots is back. It's great.
Why?
Who doesn't like robots with fire and flames?
All
and
it is
spinning around?
is putting together constructs.
Listen, when BattleBots eventually gets to the point where
Robotech.
it's robot jocks, then let me know.
Well,
Until
my
then,
favorite thing is just like the emo kid who sat in his garage and put together this little thing that he liked, and then there's Yale professors who worked with millions of dollars to make the best robot, and then loses to the kid in the garage who just decided to use like a rocket.
So you're a closet nerd, aren't you?
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
But you also have a rock band.
Yes, I do. I sing about motorcycles and beer.
Well, he's got a sweet Bill Murray shirt, too.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's Admiral Murray. If he was a captain of a ship, this is what he would look like today.
It works great on radio when no one can see it.
Just imagine a lot of medals and not the new Ghostbusters.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, so you're doing a rock band too. How come they don't feature your rock band on any of the channels?
Because I have a very talented guitar player. He's like one of the best. He's been actually offered some major gigs. Very good drummer. But I'm the singer in the band, and I don't know how to sing.
Okay.
So there's a terrible problem there.
So you can't you screw up your own bit that you produce, and you're in a band that you can't sing.
But I'm funny.
All right, Trevor, you're on the right track, my friend. Somewhere down the line, you know what? You're gonna fall backwards into like stupid fame, like Chris Farley or something like that, and then we can all say we knew Trevor way back when.
That's right, and I appreciate that.
I hope that works for you, my friend. Thank you for coming by. I do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on.
We do have to move on. Let's talk to Liz, who is the brewmaster here from Demented Brewing. Come on over here.
Come on over. She's been on the show a few times. I gotta say, while Liz is coming to the table, Demented has some awesome shirts that I guess are available if you go into the tasting room. Is that where you can get those? Yeah.
Yes,
The
actually.
website as well. Yeah, they've hooked us up with some great shirts with that awesome logo on it. So
Yeah,
you should
pretty
definitely
sick.
check
It's
those
really
out
awesome.
in the tasting room or on their website to grab your own.
Oh, I got one too.
Yeah, they're
no, for
fancy,
sure. We
man.
have the full website. I actually do all the shipping, so I'm going to for sure write you a weird note.
So this one's
I do it all
mine?
the time. Yeah,
I,
it's
I
mine.
feel like
Alright,
this part of the logo would be great on like the bow of a ship as I'm coming into like battle. It's like having that front.
I've
like,
heard that before
it's pretty
already, so
sweet.
it's not even that weird.
It
I do have
does.
to clarify one thing, Eric.
Yes.
I am the tasting room manager. Doug is the brewmaster.
Oh, I do apologize.
Cannot take that credit at all.
I'll blame it on the alcohol.
I do drink it all, though.
I've been drinking this thing. This is what is it called again? The strawberry cream ale. What's the?
That's
Nagel.
it's Erik Nagel. Brew.
Oh, so good.
How could you get that wrong? It's your name.
Well, they were nice enough to put my name on it, but it did have an official name before we came around. That's why I was trying to figure it out. So Doug is the brewmaster, and Liz is the. You both can share the mic. I'm sure you can hear us from here.
At least they can hear us.
This has been a really good time here. Everybody's been sampling everything. I think I think I sampled somebody's beer, and I don't know who it was, so I apologize. It was sitting here, and I don't know which flavor, but it was delicious. I didn't backwash in it, so don't worry about that.
Liar.
I think we need to get you a refill, Eric.
Yeah, I think we should do that too, my friend. I also have some growlers that I'm going to be filling up and taking home from this visit here. So we talked to Tom earlier. We're doing a lot of, you guys were doing a lot of these specialty beers where they're soaked. Now you're doing the wine beer now because a couple of beers are in Cabernet barrels.
Yep.
Now that's more or less a newer thing as far as beer goes, right?
It's like a newer, older thing. It's like bringing back history, which is now like spontaneous fermentation right in the barrel.
Right.
And yeah, we're getting those wine characteristics. You get a lot of those tannins. Maybe we could pull some nails and let you guys try it, if you want.
Yes.
For that. But if you pull the nails, does that mean it has to go and ready to serve? You can't just close it right back up,
you can taste
right?
it. It's just not carbonated.
Okay.
So, but that's a typical old-fashioned like Belgian style sour. So.
Is that what they are? Are they sours? If you're using the wine?
Sour is like a very broad term, and it's it's not very easily defined. But
Right.
we have a kettle sour that's on the Eros, which
I
is
had
on
that
tap.
before.
Yeah,
It's really
with the
good.
passion fruit. Yeah, like a Berliner Weiss. But these ones are more like a Cantillon inspired or Three Fontaine, where it's primary fermented, with bugs. In the barrel.
Bugs?
Yeah, that's like the general term, like Brettanomyces, Pediococcus.
No, you've lost us.
Yeah.
I'm following.
That sounds like politics.
Speak stupid people. Explain to us.
No Brexit here.
So there's real bugs in the barrels.
Well, like bacteria. It's just a general term.
Okay.
But, bacteria with, wild yeast per se. But yeah, it gives you that tartness. And it develops over time, so 6 months to a year, and you get that very nice acidicness, complexity, and layers of flavor. And if you guys want to, try some, maybe we can pull a little something off.
Well, I don't know about the crowd here, but I think we'd be ready to try some of that. I'm thinking a few people here would like to try some.
I would
as
try
well.
some for sure.
We should definitely open
try.
that up and let everybody experience that. You guys have been doing this for how long with Demented Brewing?
So we're a little over a year. Opened up. We had our anniversary this past May.
Right.
We had a party down at Ferraro's where we did double dementia on tap, and it's been growing. We doubled in capacity and size. So we got a bunch of new big tanks down there that you guys saw earlier today.
Yeah, they're really big and shiny.
Yeah, nice. And we made sure they're extra shiny today.
Yeah.
I just want to shoot them with a paintball gun. I just want to make this place look psychedelic, put a few black lights in here and turn
You've
it
been
into a
hanging out
club.
with Drake, huh?
Yeah.
So we know how long you've been with Demented, obviously, and how long Demented has been around. But how long have you been playing around before you were with Demented? Like, are there years of bathtub beer? In your
I
past?
always joke around the bathtub gin, or a cool ship, But I've been brewing professionally for about 5 years now, and then home brewing for a little 3 years before that, and
So it's old hat to you almost at this point.
always learning. The science it's so complex. If I was to say, I know everything, it'd be very naive of me.
Right.
So always learning, always going to conferences, Craft Brewers Conference in Philadelphia, So
Cool, man. So if you had like your dream beer that you could brew, like what kind of beer would it be?
you're sitting right in front of it,
All these different barrels?
Yeah.
Because this is part of your barrel series, right?
Yeah.
That you guys are doing.
Yeah.
So like, what is that all about?
So when I joined up, I was like, Tom, we should really do a barrel program here. It's something I've been, big heart of mine is into, and we could taste it, so you could tell, but it's very rich in flavor, and it takes time. So it's like an art almost. It's not like just typical, like okay, this is how it's gonna be. You have to blend. You have to, it takes time.
Are there like different like variables that you have to worry about more with barrel bottling than as the regular?
Yeah, that's for sure. So we like to keep it separated. We'll be, when we bottle this up, we'll have like a whole separate packaging line, everything like that. So just to keep things isolated from our clean beers.
Cool.
What is the small scale recipe process like, right? I can't imagine you dive right into a barrel right. So you
should do that. You should just take some of those old barrels and just set it up where people can dive into what they think is beer.
I don't mean literally.
They used to push
dive.
horses into barrels. You know that?
No, they push
We
horses.
should.
into
We can go
pools.
down the.
The what?
What just happened?
I don't know.
They pushed them into pools.
Yes, off diving boards.
Yes, the ones in Coney Island.
I didn't mean literally dive.
I think we should.
Oh, literal Eric.
We can go down Niagara Falls.
But
I think it'd be a lot of fun.
But I mean, how do you come up with a recipe comfortably on a small scale before you go like I said, you can't. I can't imagine you go big scale first, right?
Agreed.
Because God forbid it goes.
You don't want to mess
terrible.
things up. No,
Right.
totally. So we have that little one barrel system, which was Tom's original homebrew system, which he was part of the Wales Homebrew Club. He's been brewing on that way prior, the brewery opening. So on that scale, we could, brew, scale up to a bigger scale. It's like, we're coming out with a Citra Habanero beer we're going to be brewing next week.
Right.
We brewed that on the small scale. And Tom's a big heat guy, and I'm just like, all right, we got to scale this, appropriately. So that allows us, to dial in on the recipe. We could brew it maybe a couple times at the Sarah that I think you guys seem to like, the Mosaic IPA.
Mm-hmm.
We brewed that a few times on the big scale. We'll be brewing that on the small scale. We'll be brewing it on the big scale soon. But it's just inspiration kind of comes from cooking.
Sure.
Flavor. Liz will talk about us. Tom will talk. They'll be like, "This is what we kind of want, fresh. Like, can we make this happen?" We kind of, we'll have a managers meeting. We might, kick it a little bit, and I'm like, "All right, I'll make this kind of how you want it."
Is the transition from small scale to large scale? I mean, is it pretty one to one? Like, do you just scale it up, or do you have a lot of variables?
For the variables, like the malt wise, easy. It's pretty simple. But when it comes to like spices or especially like the habanero, once you get to that bigger scale, it does, it could influence on a much larger scale. So.
Well, it's tough too because like certain peppers, like you have one habanero next to the next
Yeah,
habanero,
next
and one
to the
has no heat, and one is 1,000 degrees of hell.
Agreed. Yeah,
That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation, but you let it. We'll make like a tincture kind of deal.
What do you do then if you make a concoction, and then all of a sudden it comes out and you realize there's not enough, like he was saying, there's not enough heat and not enough spice when you're doing the pep. What do you do with it? You just like pop it open and just let it drain down into the gutter?
Can you like habanero dry hop it like in a way? Like,
I mean, yeah. So it's like cooking. So you can always add more. So like I always try to always make sure that I'm not adding too much, because then you could blend back with another beer if you had the same batch and kind of a lot
Throw
of
some
breweries do
Tabasco
that.
in. Nobody knows.
So yeah, it's kind of one of those things where as long as I'm not going too overboard, I can always add a little bit more. But once you kind of hit that threshold of
too far?
Yeah, it's
so after Cabernet, you said you're doing some Cabernet wine barrels now, right?
Yeah.
What other kind of wines do you want to play with, or what other kind of outside of Cabernet?
I mean, there's some really good wines out there, as you guys
Right.
know. I mean, I'm sure you're aware, but yeah, I mean, I love red wines.
Sure.
They're like one of my favorites.
Would you expand into wines?
To make wine?
Yeah. Is
I
that
don't
something in the future for you guys?
You would have to buy grapes. I mean, I don't think the New Jersey laws allow that.
There's
but
a
it's-
shop right around the corner.
Yeah, I wish it worked like that.
They come seedless now.
Yeah, right?
The work is done for you.
Perfect.
No, seriously, but like, so Cabernet is obviously one very distinct type of wine.
Yeah.
And it brings its own type of flavor and body to it, right?
Yeah.
But what else other than Cabernet? If you could pick something, would you go?
I mean, some Merlots or
anything. I mean, those are all pretty. They're pretty full-bodied wines. Is there anything that you would anything light that would work?
I mean,
I
we're
love
using-
your full-bodied
we're
stuff,
doing
but
the
your light stuff is
Chardonnays.
really nice
Yeah,
too.
The Chardonnays are the white wines, which are kind of more light bodied, which has a sour blonde.
Okay.
So kind of more delicate flavors that we can try to pick up in that beer.
So sours is an acquired taste, right?
It is, yeah.
Not everybody likes sours. So what kind of hesitation do you go into with a sours program or developing more sour flavors, knowing that it's not mainstream in a lot of ways. Or do you not have that hesitation
No.
as a smaller brewery?
I mean, there's tons of breweries doing sours, but next year I think, we've been talking about it, me, Tom, and Liz. We were thinking doing a separate sour program and then clean beers as well.
Right.
So it wouldn't just be like, okay, I don't like sour beers, I'm getting, so you can just, if you're a sour beer guy.
I know people love sour beers.
I
I've really
love sour
tried
beers.
to not just you guys, but everybody. I've tried across the board, and I just can't get into it. I know it's an acquired taste, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to acquire the taste. It's just not happening.
I think we might have to pour you a little barrel sample soon. And
I don't know how you don't like
Hear
sour
your
beers.
honest opinion.
You're such a fan of pickles. Like I
I know.
pickles too.
Like I don't get it,
a whole jar
man.
earlier.
How?
But
There's your next enterprise. You got this. You got the strawberry cream ale ice pops, and now you should
Like a
make
pickle
pickles
sour,
in
or
your
maybe a little
make your
pickle
own
sour.
brine, your beer brine.
I will help work on the pickle sour if need be.
Yeah, we could do
I
a
will
little
do
pickle
that.
sour.
Let's do that. I'll
Not-
come and cook food. We'll brew. It'll be fun.
He's already got the name that rhymes. You call it Giddles Pickles or something
Damn
like that.
right.
Those pickles.
Or Pickle Giddles or something like that.
That's great.
not talking about Demented, but like there are some sours that we've tried on It's Erik Nagel. We've done a couple of beer shows now, and there are some sours that I've tried that I am convinced the only reason people like those sours, again, not Demented Brewing sours, but there are some sours that people have tried, and I'm convinced the only reason people like them is because they think they're supposed to like them.
No, I don't know.
They're
man.
like,
It seems
oh,
like a-
this is great.
It seems like a trend.
It out on
like
the
it's
side.
something that hipsters or beer aficionados are supposed to love, and you'll love doing sours just because it seems to be the thing to do.
I don't think so, man. I think people genuinely like sour beers. Like I like that ting in the back of my taste buds that hurt when I drink it. Like it's very nice.
I can't personally. I can't.
Dee knows what I'm talking about. She knows.
I
She
can't
knows
get
the
into.
sour.
I've had some sours that are, I guess, towards the more mild end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
That I enjoy.
I think you scared off Doug.
But,
He couldn't take your sour hate
No, I
anymore.
think he
Doug's
came
going
to
against Sam.
challenge
Oh,
your,
is he really?
your
Yeah.
sour. I
That's
think
it.
he's stepping up to the challenge here.
He's pulling out the American Blonde Sour and the California Chardonnay.
Oh no, he's got
All right.
tweezers.
Those are pliers.
and a water
I'm
bottle.
always willing to try. I've just said that that far end of the sour spectrum to me, I just can't do. Like it.
Do you
it
like
just-
Sour Patch Kids?
I love Sour Patch
Then
Kids.
how do you not like Sour Patch?
Because sour beer doesn't taste like sour. Sour
Yes, it
Patch
does.
Kids taste like childhood and fun and
Sour Patch
sugar-coated
Kids-
goodness.
Sour Patch
sour
Kids-
beer. Some of them taste like dirty water.
No way, man.
And bologna that's gone bad in the fridge
Hot
because it's
dog
been
water.
there for 8 months.
No, you're a liar.
I'm just saying my opinion. Some sour beers just taste wrong.
Why are you so sour on the sour beers?
Because I've had some sour beers. I don't remember what it was, but we had one
I know the one you're
sour
talking
beer.
about. There
we
was
had
one that
one
kinda tasted
sour
like
beer
horse
on the
pee.
show, and they were like, "This is like $60 a bottle," and people like fight in armor over this on Sunday afternoons when the stores get a
And
delivery.
like you can have it.
And I poured it in the garbage can because it was atrocious. I just can't handle some of them.
Well, there's
Well,
a
we're
whole
gonna
to
try
do.
some really good stuff. Here.
There's a hole to do here. This is you know what this is? Cut the green wire. That's what
Doug
it looks
doesn't
like.
even like doing this when Tom and I ask him to do it. You guys are special.
We didn't even ask him. He just volunteered. He's
I-
like, I'm gonna shut these
He's gonna
guys
change
up.
your whole world
I
right now.
didn't mean to challenge him. I'm just saying I don't like spoiled bologna. That's all I'm saying.
I don't care if there's chunks of barrel in there. Fiber's good for you.
Chunks of barrel.
This is what dreams are made out of.
Now, what is this that I'm looking at here? This is what?
That's the sour blonde in the Cabernet barrels.
So on
Okay.
the spectrum of sours,
Or Chardonnay barrels.
Pinkies up?
where would you rate it? Is it high up? Is it towards the?
It's peaking right now, so we're gonna be bottling it soon, probably next couple weeks. Yeah, Eric's like, ooh, it's tart.
Wow. I don't know what that was.
See, I no offense, I couldn't drink that regularly.
Yeah, I don't think I could either. I know that's the taste, but it tastes like it's wrong.
It tastes like fucking amazing.
Tastes
I don't know
like
what you
everything
guys are
what
talking
you wouldn't
about.
think beer would taste.
This tastes fucking great, man. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna drink this whole thing.
Yeah, I'm not knocking their beer. I know people love it. And
Some
obviously the
people love
audience
it.
is
It's
all
just not
about
my
it.
palate.
This isn't even
It's
as
an
sour as the one that they have on tap either. Like this is
Yeah,
not
it's
nearly
much more
as sour.
mellow.
This is far more mild. This is really good though.
All right,
Thank
so you
you.
know what I
Really
need to do? I need to stop drinking the jar of Clausen's after I finish the pickles and start drinking sour beers.
You're ruining your
apparently.
palate, Eric.
I know. Yes, because well, I've upgraded from what the hell is the Vlasic, and I went right to Clausen, upscale.
Look, they have plenty of other beers that I love, enjoy, and will drink
like
plenty
this
of.
strawberry cream ale.
I just can't do sours.
That's why we had to make you the special one.
That is amazing, and I saw the little keg that's still right under the air conditioning, keeping it cold. Yeah, so I'm gonna buy a couple more growlers and take those home.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
There
I'll
you go.
probably empty it out for you.
Liz could take care of you on that one.
All right.
So your strawberry cream ale, and even this strawberry, are they? Would you consider those the sweetest?
That one particularly is a little extra sweet. You know, we add the maraschino cherries, but
But I think it's
not as sweet.
It's comfortably sweet.
Yeah, it's not
like
like-
it doesn't coat your
I'm
teeth. It doesn't
comfortably
feel
numb.
fuzzy afterwards.
You don't need me for
Have
the
you
rest
ever
of the show.
considered going sweeter with anything else, or is it just not something you're interested in? or-
With the sweeter beers, usually like the higher AVB beers. So
Right.
like the Wrath, probably
Right.
finished out a little sweeter than what a typical most of our beers would. But we could make some sweeter beers more in the fall or winter.
Sure.
More sours.
I know.
No sweets.
Yeah, you don't got to tell me.
I'm not asking for sweeter beers. I'm
He's
just
telling
curious
you.
what, as the brewmaster, what your thoughts are on making them, or if you wanted to make them, or
I mean,
or where you could go with it. You know?
I like drier beers personally, but
Sure.
whatever what Tom wants to do, kind of deal. I'll make it to specification, and we'll talk about things, but we'll generally try to hit that style, to a degree. But
I mean, I'm a fan of mead.
oh, I'm a big fan of mead. As
So-
well.
Meat
Yeah.
beer?
Mead, and everybody. Mead is not always necessarily sweet. Everybody thinks it's automatically sweet because it's honey, and I've had some very dry
Yes,
meads
yeah.
that are really delicious.
Which
so,
use usually wild yeast or bacteria,
Right.
to dry out that mead.
so
I've had some meads that are like wine. It's crazy.
yeah, and I go to
14%.
I go to a particular meadery and I get a lot from there, and it runs the spectrum. There are some that are clearly dessert, right, and they're really good, but there are
What
some
are
that you
what
can
are the
enjoy.
ones that they sell when you frequent the Renaissance Fair?
The New York Renaissance Fair has Chaucer's and Canterbury, and I would not drink either of those on a regular basis.
Because of the heat?
No, because of the shite.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
With an E.
Yes, but so
He keeps it old school.
So my question is if you're doing beers using wine barrels, right, and meads go through a barrel process as well, at least some of the ones I've had and some of the meaderies I've been to, have you ever considered using a mead barrel and the flavor you might get out of it to do a beer?
I think you're drawing some inspiration here.
Okay, so let's take a look here. So we've got the strawberry cream ale ice pops. We have the Giddles Pickles beer, and now
yes, we
we're
do.
going to ferment in mead barrels. How do we get on your payroll?
It's called Demented for a reason, Eric.
Well, I think you guys are already the first step there by just hanging out in the brewery. So
All right, there we go. So this is like an internship, is what you're
I
saying.
think this is the interview process.
All right. Now I just need somebody to, like Trevor said, to go and have a kid for a month, and then I'll take over, and I'll get a job here. There we go.
Perfect.
Well, thank you guys so much for having us here. It's been a real education as far as... One last question before you go. Does it piss you off if you're at a party or some kind of gathering and people find out what you guys do, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I make beer too. I got this kit from Kohl's that I do it in my kitchen. Does that piss you off? It's like you suck at what you do.
I mean, I don't hate on it because everyone was there at one point in their life.
Right.
So I mean, I think my mom's out there, and she could attest that I think I made her kitchen smell like over 10 years ago, probably. Just a terrible malt bomb. But I mean, yeah, it kind of gets a little old when someone's like, "Try this beer, I made it." But I will. I'll try anything once.
Right.
I mean, I'm not sure I won't drink the whole glass.
You might not
but,
love it or give it high.
I always give respect to people.
I got it for Christmas.
Yeah,
I'm an expert.
I I've been aging it for 6 years. It's
No,
like, all
no,
right.
no joke. I went to there's a really fancy beer bar near where I live in Brooklyn, and they were coming around with the beers one night, and I thought I was waiting for the cameras to come out. The guy's like, "Oh, we make it in smoked corn husks." I was like, "All right, where's the camera, guys? This is gonna be funny. You're coming out now." No, it didn't happen. That was the real beer, and I was just like, "Oh, this pretentious shit." I'm like, "Give me like a fucking beer, man."
Should have smacked the flight as he's trying to put
it
it
was
in your
so
table.
annoying. I was like, "Really, smoked corn husk?" Like, get the fuck
It's like I can smell the douche coming off.
It's
But-
quite a BO.
But the people who do not have BO are the fine folks here at Demented Brewing Company, 600 Lincoln Boulevard in Middlesex, New Jersey. If you can make the trip out, check out the brewery. You go through the fine tour, and then they bring you to Liz's area of expertise as you enter into the tasting room. Now, does it surprise you when you have... do people get surprised when you have this wide selection of beers that you guys brew, and they're asking for something that you don't provide?
I get asked for Miller Lite at least 3 times a day.
Really?
What's the closest to Miller Lite?
It is the champagne of beers.
Yes, it is
No,
celebrated.
that's Miller High Life.
I've handed out water before.
Sorry, I don't drink that shit. I don't know.
Well, you don't live the High Life, Eric.
But so people do ask you for stuff that you guys don't provide.
It's not that we don't provide it. They'll walk in. What's
You
the
don't
closest
provide
to the lightest?
Miller Lite.
I provide water at that point. Yeah.
Okay. Piss in a glass. That's
you
pretty
go.
much, there you go.
No, Doug makes a huge variety. That's the biggest thing what I like about the meetings between me, Doug, and Tom. We try to get a huge variety. People walk in and they can't believe how many beers we have on tap at that moment. Even for non-alcoholics, like we
I
always.
am amazed too because for a brewery of your size, I mean, it's not like a huge processing plant and everything. I mean,
Exactly.
and it's not like meager either. You don't just have like one, maybe 2 things that you
How
can
many
put
do
out.
you have on tap right now?
On tap right now, we always have 14 different beers on tap, and then the
That's
two sodas.
impressive.
That's insane. Yeah.
That's impressive
I mean, in a
for
good
and
way.
you're under a microbrewery.
Yes, we
that
release
is
a new
that
beer.
is
Yep.
very impressive. Now all you have to do, and maybe we can help, is get the parent company that owns Anheuser-Busch to come
No.
in and give you a couple $1 million, and then you guys are good to go.
No sellouts.
No,
No.
no sellouts.
Boo.
No,
Boo that
keep-
move.
You hear that, Blue Point?
No, none of that.
Keep parent companies away from beer that I actually enjoy, please.
Are you
Seriously.
telling me that they actually enjoy what they do? They put the love and effort into their product
And they
because
make a
that's
good
what they
beer.
want to do.
Yes.
They're not trying to sell for $1 million.
Parent
Yeah,
companies come in and
exactly,
ruin
Eric.
beer that I like. We've had this conversation.
I know. I'm just amazed
I'm a
that nobody's
cider
taking
fan.
a
You
paycheck.
know this. I'm a big cider fan. I've been a Strongbow fan for years and years.
I know,
and
I know.
years.
They fucked
And the
it up.
worst thing that ever happened to Strongbow was Coors bought them out
Yes.
and turned it all into fucking. It
They
tastes
dumped
like
a bunch
melted
of
candy.
They
now.
dumped a bunch of sugar into it, and Matt wasn't happy.
No, it's
corn
shite.
husks.
Again,
It is.
back to shite.
You got some red in your beer.
Well, we thank you guys at Demented Brewing for
Thank you,
doing the
guys.
work that you do. There's obviously a lot of love and effort put into the product that you put out. I definitely want to, at some point, to taste some of the beers that you have in the wine barrels. That sounds amazing. Thank you guys, and we'll talk to you guys at the end of the show before we get out of here, all right?
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug and
guys.
Liz from Demented Brewing Company. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dude.
What's up, Lewis? What do we got?
Next coming on here is a close friend of mine, actor, Neem's theme superstar,
Actor?
Michael Leader. Big wrestling
Leader.
fan also.
Where is he? Oh, is that you, sir?
It's Neem's themes.
Take a seat. How are you? I'm Eric. That's Matt. That's Giddles. We do
Nice
a
to meet
show.
you guys. How you doing?
So you're an
Good to see you.
actor. What do you do?
A little bit of everything, man. Whatever you want me to do.
Well, I'm not hiring you. I just want to know what
That's the mentality, though. That's the mentality. I can do whatever you want me to do. I can do it.
Well, how about don't yell
right
at
now,
the mic first?
The most current project that I got going on right now is a little project called Neem's Themes. I don't know if anybody can see the shirt, but
can see it.
a little shameless self-promotion. But it's a web series, different theme to every episode. We're about 4 episodes in right now. We got over 300,000 views on Facebook, so we're creeping and crawling until we're out there so that you all know who we are. But I'm a serious regular on that. I'm in pretty much every episode. At least I have been so far. Haven't
Well,
pissed
you
off
should
the
be in
boss.
every episode that you're putting out.
Well, it's not me. I'm not Neem.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
thought
Neem
so
is
you
the
don't
guy
have
that
you don't
runs it,
have
but
a
I mean,
financial stake.
He's the
in it.
writer director, but I work on set. I mean, and like it's a small group, so I mean, we do a little bit of everything. I mean, like I'm an actor, and that's my first passion and love. But I mean, I've been script supervisor, I've been PA, I've been sound, like every little bit that we can. It's a small organization. We're just trying to build from the ground up and make a name for ourselves. We're trying to get out there. You know what I mean?
Are you trying to sell out like some of the microbreweries do? Are you trying to think maybe Funny and Dire will buy this from us?
I mean, hey, look it. I mean, yeah, Funny or Die. I mean, like BuzzFeed, anything that will grab us and put us out there and make us. Like,
You don't want BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed's clickbait. You don't want that.
I mean,
you want something legitimate.
We want something that's just going to take us to the next level. It's a constant climb, you know what I mean? And it's one of those things that, you know, we are already on the up and up. People know who we are. We've had members of our crew and cast who've gone out and people have said to them, oh my God, this thing that I saw on Facebook. We're not Neem's themes yet, but people have seen the clips and they know the actual theme of it. So
this falls down into Gilbert's
Gilbert?
expertise. I've had too many.
My name is not Gilbert.
Gittle's expertise, where Gittle's on his side job there does a lot of videos that are supposed to specifically show up on Facebook and everything to get trending, right?
Yeah,
for viral videos.
Facebook, Snapchat, all that kind of
Have you
fun
seen
stuff.
any of these videos?
Not yet, because I don't like to watch those videos because I have to work on them 12 hours a day. So when I leave work, I do not want to watch any of those videos. But
completely understandable.
It's
completely understandable. Like, I know it. I get it. Like, I've been the guy on the other end who sees the thing that's like, oh, here's this video. You're like, watch this. It's hilarious. Blah blah blah. But it's like that's why you need promotion from friends who give you that extra push of like, no, dude, this is really funny. But also like, you know, look, in this day and age, the world that we're living in, people's attention span is so short. It can't be long. You can't put some 15, 20-minute thing out.
The company I work for, if we put anything over 5 minutes, they're like, "Oh, that's way too long."
And everything
you're
Neem's
going to
themes,
lose people.
Everything Neem's themes has been 4.5 minutes or less, and even that's pushing it a little bit. But our hope is that once you start watching, you're going to be like, "Oh, this is relatable." Oh, yeah, oh, you know what I mean? Like one of our episodes was about lazy men and the stupid stuff that they do that pisses off their women, and it's just very relatable up
like
and down
sitcoms.
to both sexes.
That sounds like Tim Allen's show on TBS.
I mean, that's one episode. I mean, there's all different stuff.
Okay, so it's not just sitting in that wheelhouse.
No, it's not just in that one specific spot.
Okay.
There's a lot of different themes. Every different episode, there's a different theme, and we're just plugging away, man. And we've got the most recent episode just came out. We've still got 2 months in advance that we're editing and working on now to get it out. We're constantly cranking out content.
Nice.
So where can we find Neem's themes?
Neem's themes. You can search Neem's themes on Facebook. That's where it's most popular. That's where we've got. You can like and share the Neem's themes Facebook page. Beyond that, we are on Facebook. It's just we're pushing a little harder on Facebook. But you can like it, share it, watch it, laugh at it. It's funny. I swear to God, it's not just because I'm in it. I really mean it.
All right. Well, we'll look for Neem's themes then, and then maybe one day I'll see it on Neem's themes bought by Disney.
You
or
will.
something like
No,
that.
not maybe one day. I promise you will. You're going to see it blow up to something bigger. Let me just say one more thing to you, Eric, before I get out of here. Because you're a wrestling fan, I'm a huge wrestling fan since I was a kid. And, Lewis. Good old Lewis Johnson, the man who brought me up here, introduced me before.
Our producer?
Yes, your producer. I watch Monday Night Raw.
Are you going to cry?
No, it's not going to be that. Well, I do feel a little emotional.
I was
I won't lie.
Confused for a second.
Yeah. I do feel a little emotional, but because it's probably because Eric, there's a part of me that just wants to be like, don't you dare be sour.
Keep going.
He looks. You want me to do it? I'll do it. I don't want to make a scene.
You're halfway there, man.
Clap for your world famous 2-time champs and feel the power. Because
you could be a televangelist.
Oh, you want me to actually sing it?
No. What's the closing line?
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
There you go. If you're going to be a wrestling fan, you got to be authentic with it.
Well, but let's talk for just one quick second before I go. I don't mean to take your show about Lewis Johnson and how he looks like Big E. Because
we said that about 1.5 years ago when he joined our staff.
and that's fine. But guess what? I didn't ever bring it up to him. And I told him recently, I was like, I watch Monday Night Raw every week, and I look at Big E, and I'm like, that's Lewis. And it's not just the way he looks.
Yeah, I told two countries that Lewis looked like Biggie Langston. I tried to get him to wear the outfit. I was going to buy him the outfit and the unicorn horn, but he refused to do it.
If you do
Meanwhile, he'll wear cowboy boots and go around in New Jersey saying he's a Dallas Cowboys fan. But a unicorn horn is too much.
if you do another
think so.
live thing like this that's videoed, you need to get him to dance like Big E.
I was going to.
'Cause that was-
Believe me, I really sat down and talked with him, and he said, "I just don't want to do this right now." So
He's just-
I couldn't.
you're
push
not a
him
team
for it.
player.
But if we
I don't
do a
know.
live event, like maybe in Manhattan, where there's whatever we're doing, big crowd and all that stuff, eventually we're going to have to put Lewis into the New Day outfit, and everyone will clap their hands,
Well-
and Lewis will come out and do the whole intro for that.
I agree, and I'll tell
Don't
you
look
what.
at me. Your friend is selling you out.
That's
here, my
me.
friend.
That's me.
That's not me.
That's me.
That's not me. I gave you the idea, and I said, "Nah, you don't have to do it." But he's, he's pushing.
And
for
I'm
it.
telling you, I would be there. I'd be front and center,
Oh, I'm
just
sure
like I
you'll
am
be
tonight,
there.
watching every little bit of it because.
All right, my friend.
That's
Your
it.
time. is
Eric,
up.
thank you.
Thank you so
Guys,
much.
thank you very
Neem
much for having
Steam.
me.
Check it out. I appreciate it. Come back some other time. Lewis, what else do we got here before we got to get out of here? Do we do the thank yous, or do we have anything else left?
One last person.
All right.
Mr. Victor Patel, very big comic book fan, very big Batman versus Superman fan.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's go. Go ahead, Vic. Let's go.
Hi, Victor. Nice to meet you, man.
Walked into the
I'm sorry.
lion's den
Everybody
here.
is entitled to their wrong opinion. It's totally okay.
Yo, Batman vs Superman. Oof.
Well, let's get the introduction.
I saw
out of
that
the way.
shit in
I'm
Times
Eric
Square. I
Matt,
wanted
and
to
that's
beat
Giggles.
up an Elmo when I left. So.
I don't know what he's saying over there. Hello, Victor. Thank you for coming out to the event. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, Eric.
So
I'm
what's
doing
your
pretty good.
yeah? Try you can put the headphones on there. So what's your problem with him already right off the bat? There,
First
Matt?
of all,
Not
Bill-
you. What Matt's problem is with you?
Not you. Well, I mean, he likes Batman versus Superman, so clearly I already have to
Yeah, what's
question
wrong
his
with you?
judgment and life in general.
Headphones.
Do you-
They cause feedback if you don't wear them.
do you not see the Bruce Wayne flow going on my
Yeah,
head? Like,
nobody. Yeah, that's funny.
exactly.
No one
but-
can hear you, and that's because you like Batman versus Superman, and that's how it should
Get
remain.
right on the microphone there, my friend.
First of all, I just like to say, one, Lewis Johnson is awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
How
All
many
right.
fucking people are Lewis Johnson fans here?
Everyone's a
I-
Lewis Johnson fan
Listen
here.
to that crowd.
They're out there.
Way to go, Lewis.
We're out there.
I'm
I
here
see
'cause
one
of
right
Lewis.
there. He's gonna be with him for the rest of his life.
Right. So anyway,
Aw.
Batman
But,
versus Superman.
Batman versus Superman. I mean, like I see you guys have some type of negative opinions on it, but why? I thought it was a great.
Too long.
No plot.
No plot.
It wasn't supposed to have a plot. It was just.
It wasn't supposed to have a
It was just
plot.
a 3-hour movie.
I'm sorry.
The Facebook guy was Lex Luthor.
You can't have a
Lex
3-hour movie
Luthor.
with
He
no
sucked.
plot.
My head hurts. It hurts.
All right, look.
Matt
Let me
is
ask
cry-
you.
Matt is
let me-
crying.
No, stop.
You
Stop.
happy?
No,
You
no,
made
stop.
Matt OG cry.
Stop. How
My
could-
nostrils was flaring.
How could you say that it wasn't supposed to have a plot? Every movie is supposed to have a plot.
Some movies just build up on certain things, all right?
That's bullshit. Every movie should stand on its own laurels.
But Batman did
and if
great.
it builds to something greater, that's
On their
fantastic.
own shoe laurels.
But no, come on, we're not
Look,
trying to. We're not
Batfleck
trying
did
to.
great as a Batman. I think he was one of the.
That was the only good part of the
Okay,
whole movie.
right.
I will agree with that.
I'll give
And
you Batfleck.
personally,
Batfleck was great.
Personally, I really thought the movie was actually pretty good. The fact that they brought back the whole Flashpoint part into it, where Flash comes out of nowhere, kind of blew my mind apart. I don't
That
know
was
about
a really
you guys.
cute Easter egg that took place halfway through the movie. That was
Halfway
great.
through the
That
movie.
should have been a credit stinger. I'm sorry. Is my opinion
That
not
should have
okay?
been an
That should
online
have been at
web
the end of the movie
tease.
too. I agree, but no, honestly, look, I thought it
You're
was
not
great.
selling me with your look and your honestly.
Look, I love
You
Batman.
poked me.
Are you
and
rich,
I'm
boss?
drunk and
Bruce
I'm
Wayne-
angry.
Okay, so what did you think about Civil War then?
Civil War?
Yeah.
Civil War was great. It had 15 movies that led up to it. It was well
15
executed.
movies.
It was well executed. It had characters that I actually cared about.
So they
Matt,
portraying their
Matt.
roles that I actually cared about.
Matt.
It's fine.
It had Spider-Man.
It had Spider-Man.
Well, Spider-Man definitely helped. I'm
Right.
a big Spider-Man fan.
I will say,
Third strongest in the Marvel universe, by the way.
No, hold on, wait. I'm not done. I'm going to tell you this. As a Batman-Superman supporter, the last thing you should do is try to compare it to Civil War because it will not match up against
No,
Civil War.
Civil-
You
Civil-
should match it up against itself or against
Civil
the
War
Man of
was
Shit
amazing.
that came out before
Civil
it.
War.
It does not. It does not stand on its own laurels. It is not a good representation of those characters. And I'm sorry, but Warner Brothers is floundering right now.
It is.
Floundering right now.
The TV division is doing good. The movie
not even gonna
division
say
is
the-
not.
Yay, CW.
Yes.
Let's not talk about Gotham. I haven't had enough beers to talk about Gotham. But but yay CW.
All right, look, back on Civil War.
Yes.
Honestly, I thought the movie was amazing, mind blown.
Okay. I'm glad
But
we agree on
I feel
something.
like it should have ended with like how the comic book ended too, though, like with Captain America dying. By the way,
That's never going to happen.
but that's never gonna happen. Exactly.
You
but-
have to accept that Marvel and Disney are
Civil War 2
are putting out a franchise.
The first one that just came out was pretty freaking amazing. I actually read it.
Well, I've read it too so far, and it's okay.
It's gonna-
but
it's
the
gonna-
comic is different than the movies, and it's supposed to be different
It
than the
is,
movies. It's not
but-
supposed to be the same thing.
But why wouldn't they just like Civil War is about Captain America dying though? Like
No, Civil War is not about Captain America dying. Civil
He
War is
died for-
about Spider-Man
Have you read
revealing his
comic
identity and changing the face of what it meant to be a superhero. It's not about Captain America dying. That was a gimmick that they keep throwing at us, and now he's part of Hydra, and we're not going to get into that because it's far too geeky for this audience.
Batman will
But
never be
you
part of
should
Hydra.
not- I'm just gonna say this as friendly advice. You should not compare Civil War to Batman versus Superman.
I'm not going
If the
to.
two cannot stand separately and be strong separately, trying to compare them is not doing yourself a service.
Look, I'm gonna wait on Justice League.
Sure.
Because now that's turned into one movie. By the
Sure.
way, like the WTF.
Totally cute that they're still trying to copy Marvel's formula but can't figure it out. No, it's cute. It's cute. It's like watching puppies run around in circles but never quite catch the ball. It's great. And they're never going to figure it out.
Or when
'cause
they take out
suck.
Giddles in my backyard.
There you go.
I have the slow-mo video on my
Yeah,
phone.
Giddles has got to put this video up. Before we got here, he was playing with my French bulldog, and the dog took him out. Giddles took a face plant right into the cement.
The phone went flying in slow motion, and it's just it flipping end over end while I'm laying on the
And
ground.
it didn't stop recording while Giddles is complaining and screaming on the ground. It sounded almost like that lady who was making wine.
Oh,
Who was
yeah.
stamping on the grates. That was Giddles.
True.
And you know
But
what the dog did? Picked up the ball and started pushing it into his face, saying, "What are you doing? Let's keep playing."
So currently the dog is doing better than Warner Brothers at producing DC films. That's great.
I think we do have to wrap up
think
with the
so,
show
too.
here. Thank you so much for coming out, man. I do appreciate it. Do you have any Twitter or anything you want to plug?
Just not really. Just everybody have a good night.
Oh, he's looking at himself on Snapchat.
Oh yeah,
That's cute.
Snapchat Victor_Wayne.
There you go.
Victor Wayne.
Victor_Wayne. Boy, get it right.
Are you related to
Do you have a Batman
I shan't
tattoo?
be following that account.
Oh, he does.
He does.
Oh, jeez.
All right, sir, let's move on. Thank you so much for coming out. I do appreciate it. We'll talk
Again,
to you after
Louis
the
Johnson
show.
is awesome.
Yes,
You
we
guys-
got to get back to
Yeah.
Louis Johnson here.
Thank you, Biggie
Thank you.
Johnson.
All right, we do have to wrap up. Before we go through all the thank yous, Louis, thank you so much for all the hard work and preparation and everything that you've put into for the show, and not just for this particular show, for the last year and a half.
Appreciate it.
You've pretty much been my right-hand man as far as getting everything done that we need to do here. So round of applause for Big
Thank
E
you.
Johnson.
Thank you. Woo! Dream job. Dream job.
And one day we'll get you full-time, I promise. Giddles, thank you so much, my friend. You showed up out of nowhere one day and just kind of fit the mesh of what we were doing or what we're trying to do. I still am figuring that out on a weekly basis here with Matt, and you've really brought a lot to this program and a lot of interesting aspects as far as your food takedowns and just the amount of weird shit that you know that Matt and I don't. Gives a great another layer to this show that we just can't do without. So thank you, Gil. Thank you so much. Of course, my co-host Matt OG, the guy who I couldn't do this show and I don't want to do this show without this gentleman here.
Thank you.
For those who don't know, or maybe you do know, Matt does a show called Big Kev's Geek Stuff.
I do.
It's a show that was a podcast. We brought it onto XM when Opie and Anthony were had their own channel on XM. You were part of the Saturday Night Virus for many years.
For a while, yeah.
And then with the takeover, merger as they
else,
called it, things got changed and everything. But the podcast is still doing well. Lots of downloads. Give the plug out for that.
It's going 10 years strong, 414 episodes. Of course, one of my co-hosts is here in the audience with us tonight. PK is over there.
I would have brought you up, but I didn't know if you wanted to talk. I do apologize.
Big Kev is not here this night, but bkgeekstuff.com if you want to check that out.
Give out PK since he's here. What's his Twitter? So
is KR Marlowe on Twitter and K Robert Marlowe on Instagram.
There you go.
Did I get that right?
And what's Kevin's?
Kevin doesn't actually use it, but you can follow him. It's Big Kev GS on Instagram and BK Geek Stuff on Twitter.
I will say this: you can find him on Xbox Live because as Giddles and I have been playing Overwatch, I see him pop on, but we haven't connected yet as far. But we used to play Red Dead and everything.
Red Dead with someone.
Look, I'm fully with him about playing Red Dead with him. But Matt, thank you so much for being here since day one and then wanting to do this show and continuing to do this show. And then hopefully, maybe at some point we can take this full time, whether it's here or somewhere else, and keep this going for as long as we possibly can.
Now, don't go on. Hold on now.
Yeah.
Thank you to you.
Yeah, Eric.
Yeah,
thank you, Eric, for putting the show together.
Seriously.
Without you,
seriously, get it?
It's Erik Nagel.
It's Erik Nagel was the man. Erik Nagel was the man. Seriously, thank you.
So thank you for giving myself a chance, for giving Giddles a chance, and Lewis a chance.
Lewis Johnson a chance. Seriously.
I think we have a great show. I'm proud of everything that we do.
Yeah.
And I hope we continue to have more years. I hope we can have a 3-year anniversary next year, maybe here, and we'll do it again.
I hope so too. And also thank you, even though she's not here, Lisa Correo.
Absolutely.
Who's when she is here, she does add a lot. A female perspective to a lot of things. She's into our world of that weird mainstream nerd geek culture. She's a comedian. She's all these different layers to her. She couldn't be here tonight, but Lisa Coreo on Twitter and lisacoreo.com. So we thank her as well for being a part of the show for the last 2 years. Let's get some of the thank yous out of the way. Lewis, who do we have to thank from Demented Brewery?
Wanted to thank Tom Zuber, the owner, Doug Phillips, the master brewer, Liz Carasquillo, Taste Room Manager, all of Demented staff. Unfortunately, Andrew couldn't be here tonight. Thank you for that. Smoochie's Bakery on Instagram for the cupcakes, Joey Bartek and Confetti Cannon Direct for the confetti cannons, Middlesex, New Jersey. Pizza provided by Good Irons Pizza and Grill in Lebanon, New Jersey, and Sean Deal Creations for taping this entire show. Thank you, Sean Deal.
Thank you so much.
Also taping my wedding, by the way. Go ahead.
Wait a minute. Did we get off cheap here? Also, I want to thank, probably the most important, Greg Opie Hughes for giving us the chance to do this show, being part of his show, both Opie and Anthony and Opie and Jimmy for 13 years and allowing us to do our show on the Opie radio channel. We do have to thank him. And Don Wicklund, of course. The guy who oversees everything that Opie doesn't want to deal with. Don deals with it, and when Don doesn't want to deal with it, I get stuck with it. But that's fine. I'm more than happy to do so.
That's par for the course.
I want to thank Jason Schramm, who's one of the higher-ups at SiriusXM. He's been very supportive and giving guidance as far as the shows go. Roland Campos for helping us immensely for a lot of talent booking for guests and situations that the show gets to be put in each and every week.
Absolutely.
And of course, the talent department at SiriusXM, Spencer, Liam, and the rest of the talent department there, who get us these A-list guests on a show that should not be talking to any of them. And we get everybody. No, I'm not shush. Whatever. They know, and we take care of them, and they take care of us. I mean, look at some of the names. I can't even think of half the names that we've had over the last 2 years.
Giddles.
I mean, yes, Giddles. But
obviously.
I think I booked that one. I can take that credit.
Yeah.
But we had like Oscar Isaacs and Donnell Gleason, who were
Andrew
big
Lincoln,
names, and
Andrew
Lincoln.
All John Barenthal, H. John Benjamin. Yeah.
All the people from Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, The Flash, Bob's Burgers, Archer. There's just so much opportunity that this show has had, and we've got to talk to a lot of great people that, again, I don't think would give us the time of day if we were not on Opie's channel or at SiriusXM. So thank you to Roland and the rest of the talent department. Also want to thank Dooley Watts in the promotions department for helping us out. Of course, the intro to the show was done by Mr. Scott Shannon, my mentor, my idol since I was a little kid. Thank you very much to Scott. And I'm trying to think if there's anybody else. Did we forget anybody, Lewis?
I don't think we forgot anybody.
Matt?
Quick thanks to Randy and Chris from NECA. For coming on tonight with us.
Right,
we
of course.
Have to give them thanks, and I think that might be it. Yeah.
All right, yes, NECA, even though they weren't here, Funko, Market Funko, everybody at Funko has been great at hooking us up and providing us with giveaways that we give out to the listeners. hopefully, every week when they get stuff and they send it out to us, they've been very cool. And all the other partnerships that we've had with video game companies and movie companies and everybody else. The Shout Factory is one of them, I know. Thank you so much. What's up?
I just want to say thank you to the people of Middlesex, New Jersey, and the fans that actually came out tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Next on the list.
Oh, was that next? I'm
Yes.
sorry. Thank you for coming out.
Yes, thank you
Demented
very much
Brewery in the
for
building.
everybody who came out
CSB
here
in the building.
to the live event. For those of you listening on SiriusXM in the United States and Canada, and we get calls from Canada all the time and the West Coast, which is great to see.
Yep.
We can't thank you enough, and look, I'll even throw a nod of the hat to, I'm going to regret this, to the Reddit, even though it's 50-50 on there. A lot of those guys have been cool. If you follow any of us on Twitter and Instagram, thank you to those guys. I think that's it. So before we go, there's a band that I've been a fan of since the late 90s, and I used to play them when I would do Jay Wolf's show, who's a regular on our show for the beer, from Masters of None. We used to have a show called One Step Beyond on WLIR.
Nice. Good song.
And it was a ska punk indie rock show. It was on for about 3 years or so. And one of the bands I really became a fan of is a group called the Pietasters.
Love the Pietasters.
Who doesn't love the Pietasters? And I've gotten, over the years, I've had the chance to talk to Steve Jackson and everybody at the Pietasters there. And we had the anniversary coming up, and we were going to ask them to come up because they're in the area.
Sure.
And they were actually going to try to come out and do a couple of songs, but because of the scheduling and the events that they had, it just wasn't going to work out. So they said, you know what, we can do one better, and we'll record a special song for you guys.
Nice.
Now they said, well, do you want something new? Is there a favorite song that you have? And I told them, yes, there's one particular song that was a big favorite of mine. And when I told Steve that, he says, that was a hidden track song that we just threw away at the end of an album. And I said, well, I don't care. I want you to do that song. And they did it. Now, it's not very appropriate, but it's one of my favorites. It's a song called Me No Wanna Licky You. And they did a brand new version for us for our second anniversary. So as we leave here from Demented Brewing Company in Middlesex, New Jersey for our second anniversary of It's Erik Nagel, we're going to listen to the Pietasters' brand new version of Me No Wanna Licky You. We will see you next Friday here on OP Radio Channel, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Thank you, everybody. We really appreciate it. See you next time.
Woo! Let's go.
I picked you up. It was our first date. I washed my dick and promised your daddy that I wouldn't have you out too late. Then we went down. We went to a nice secluded place. Things got heavy, it smelled like soup, but still you wanted me to bury my face. Me no wanna licky you. Me no wanna licky you. Me no wanna licky you down there. I said, oh, me no wanna licky you. Last girl was blonde. She had a real nice hefty rack. But I nearly bopped when her pants came off. She don't use soap, you know that bitch is whack. Me no wanna licky you. Me no wanna licky you. Me no wanna licky you down there. I said, oh, me no wanna licky you. Happy anniversary, E-Rock. We wish we could be there in studio with you to celebrate in person. I know this 2 years is just the beginning of something that's going to last for an eternity. tell them, me I wanna lick you.
And that's a wrap for the It's Erik Nagel 2nd anniversary show. The show will be available on demand with the SiriusXM app. 2 years down, and hopefully many more to go.